Mind-shattering pain shot down my legs and almost dropped me to my knees in the middle of the men's bathroom. I frantically clutched my crotch and felt my manhood swelling up uncontrollably. My heart was pounding like a jackhammer. I was scared out of my mind that I was seconds away from either my heart exploding or something even worse. From there, I remember stumbling out of the restaurant, the scream of a siren while I lay on the back of an ambulance, speeding through traffic of a crazy third-world city as a paramedic pumped my chest. Then being wheeled through hospital hallways, staring up at the ceiling lights flashing by, and then strapped to an operating table, a team of doctors and nurses hovering over me, shouting in a language I couldn't understand, and a nurse preparing a giant syringe that looked like something you'd use on an elephant. I let out a scream as the nurse took my throbbing, swollen manhood in one hand and slowly aimed the needle towards it. I remember praying for a quick death, and my world cut to black. But I guess God had other plans for me. I survived. And in fact, the living nightmare I experienced in that ancient, faraway land led me to discover a simple, stress-free, and 100% natural 30-second secret that completely reversed my erectile dysfunction. Made me swear off pills, pumps, and injections forever, and gave me back the rock-hard erections and endless sex drive I had enjoyed as a much younger man. Even more amazing, this same all-natural 30-second secret I discovered is now helping tens of thousands of other men around the world to enjoy fuller, firmer, harder erections and raging bull stamina. But this presentation will not be online for much longer, for reasons I'll explain to you in a moment. So watch this now while you can. Hi, I'm Mike, and if your erections don't feel as full or firm as they were when you were a younger man, if you ever worry you can't last long enough to give your woman the deep satisfaction she secretly craves, if your sex drive has faded over the years, and you no longer feel that animal lust you're supposed to feel when you're with a beautiful woman, especially one you love, and if your sex life has ever caused you shame and embarrassment, or caused a woman to look at you with disappointment in her eyes, then I need you to pay very close attention, because I'm about to share a shocking story with you about how I went from feeling useless, ashamed, robbed of my manhood, watching my marriage and family crumble while I stood by helpless, until I became so desperate I did something truly horrifying that almost cost me everything I held dear. Yet there's more to this presentation, much more in fact, because I'm also going to share with you an all-natural 30-second secret that I discovered in an exotic, faraway land, a secret that's been buried and hidden from you for hundreds of years. Yet once I stumbled upon it, it became my sexual fountain of youth and rewound my sex drive back to how I felt as a rock-hard, battle-ready 18-year-old U.S. Marine. If you suffer from any form of erectile dysfunction, which we'll call ED from now on, then this will be the most important presentation you'll ever lay your eyes on, because the all-natural 30-second secret I'm about to give you has been hailed as a miracle by men of all ages, from younger men who suffer performance problems to white-haired seniors who haven't experienced a fully firm, youthful erection in decades. But before we begin, know this: ED is not your fault, and you are not alone. Clinical studies have shown 89% of men over the age of 40 now suffer from ED in some form, and 43% of men under 40 do too. If your erections are softer or less sensitive than they used to be, or too sensitive, that's ED. If you ejaculate prematurely, that's ED. If you ever feel like there's a disconnect between your brain and your manhood down there, like your mind is willing but your soldier won't stand up and cooperate, that's ED too. And in the next 6 minutes, you'll know the real reason why. But make no mistake, if you ever experience any of the symptoms I mentioned, you're suffering from early or mid-stage ED. And if you don't fix the root cause, as you'll soon know how to do, it's only a matter of time before full-blown ED sets in, leaving you in a permanent and irreversible state of what's called penile tissue decay, or as urologists call it, sexual death. The good news is, this natural 30-second secret, which was kept buried for centuries and almost lost to history forever, has finally been brought to light, giving you a safe, incredibly potent, and all-natural method for reversing all forms of ED, while restoring your sex drive back to when you were in your physical prime, allowing you and your partner to enjoy more intimacy, more excitement, round after round of intense, passionate, headboard-rattling lovemaking, and the most explosive, mind-blowing orgasms either of you have ever felt, so that when you're finished, she'll look at you in a whole new way, with awe, respect, and lust, for your dominant masculine power. Best of all, you'll do this without any awkward trips to the doctor. No expensive prescriptions or medications, no dangerous pills, weird pump devices, or painful injections. What you're about to discover is 100% natural, and it takes only 30 seconds per day. The only side effect is that your woman won't be able to get enough of you because she'll be addicted to the pleasure hormones you set off in her brain like fireworks on the 4th of July every time you penetrate her with your rock-hard manhood. You'll rise to the occasion every time and satisfy her like no man ever has, and no other man ever will. In a moment, you'll hear actual reports from men who use this same 30-second secret, including guys whose bedroom problems seem flat-out hopeless. Yet this secret supercharged their sex drives, gave them stiff as steel erections on command, and took their relationships to new levels of excitement and passion. All I ask is that you agree to 3 ground rules before I reveal this all-natural secret, which one of the world's most powerful industries doesn't want you to know about. Rule number 1. You must give me your complete attention. Put your phone on silent mode, close your door, and focus on this presentation until the very end. This is the only way you will experience the full power of this ancient secret. Rule number 2. You must use this secret responsibly. My life's mission is to save the relationships of men who've been suffering from the ED curse, not ruin them. So once you're bursting with the confidence of a sexual rock star, like a young bull in peak condition with raging stamina, I ask that if you are married, respect your vows and use your new superpowers for good, okay? Finally, rule number 3. Don't share this secret with strangers. No posting about it on the internet. This is only for men who I can trust to use it responsibly, and you're about to see why. As long as you agree to follow these 3 rules, we can continue. Now, the first thing you need to know is that this presentation is sending shockwaves through the pharmaceutical industry. The reason is simple. Big Pharma rakes in mountains of cash from drugs that treat the symptoms of ED, like Viagra and Cialis. Yet, even though doctors are all too eager to write us prescriptions, these drugs are not medicine. They're actually poison. It's true. The pills work by poisoning an enzyme in your body, which blocks blood flow to your penis. And it's only a matter of time before they stop working completely, leaving your penis deader than before. If you choose that dangerous option, you can also expect side effects, which can include sky-high blood pressure, heart attacks, strokes, and even blindness. And if you're crazy enough to buy pills from online pharmacies, you're really gambling with your life. Over 75% of pills sold online are not only phony, they're loaded with dangerous synthetic compounds. Now, obviously, the big pharma pill pushers weren't happy when they learned I'm exposing an all-natural ED fix that makes their drugs irrelevant and unnecessary. And it's why their pitbull lawyers might come after this website at any moment. In fact, this presentation could vanish at any time, which is why you need to watch this now. Let me be clear, I'm not doing this for any fortune and fame. I believe I was put on God's green earth to serve others, and that's why I put this presentation online, even at great personal risk to myself, because I know how devastating ED can be. Not only the way it wrecks your confidence and self-worth as a man, but also how it threatens your relationships, your family, even your own survival. Remember how I said urologists refer to ED as sexual death? Well, when you lose sexual function, it's a signal to your brain that your body is dying. This triggers your body to start melting away muscle mass and storing more fat. Your hair, or what's left of it, begins to rapidly vanish. You lose your focus and mental clarity. Your energy fades. Your sexual death tells your vital systems it's time to shut down. Because as far as your body is concerned, your purpose as a man, which is to spread your seed and pass on your genes, is finished. If this scares you, it should. But we can reverse this today. It has nothing to do with poor blood flow, what you eat, or whether you exercise, or the fact that you've reached a certain age. George M. from Boca Raton, Florida, sent in this email after discovering this simple 30-second secret and putting it to use. I thought my lack of interest in sex and weak erections were just something that happens as we get older. I love my wife, but I didn't have the same desire anymore, and getting up for lovemaking was a chore. I knew it bothered her, and she missed the intimacy. I'm so thankful that you showed me this, because it didn't only save our marriage, it brought back so much fun and excitement. We're now having sex every day. We feel like a couple of frisky teenagers again. Thomas F. from Toronto, Canada, had this to say. I used to get anxious and stressed out every time I was in an intimate situation with a woman for the first